Kita akan memasuki sesi panel yang keempat dengan judul Cross Cultural Religious Literacy for an Inclusive and Cohesive Asian Community. Kami mengundang para panelis untuk naik ke atas panggung. Panelis yang pertama, kami panggilkan Dr. Yayan Ganda Hayat Mulyana, Head of Foreign Policy Strategy Agency, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Kami persilahkan. Kami panggilkan panelis yang kedua, Bontofi Ponetasin, Deputy Director General of the Department of Religious Affairs, Central Law Front for National Development. Kami persilakan. Panelis yang ketiga, kami panggilkan Zarina binti Zakaria, Director of the Interreligious Harmony Division, Department of National Unity and Integration, Ministry of National Unity Malaysia. Kami persilakan. Panelis yang keempat, kami panggilkan Monica Ari Wijayanti, selaku Deputy Director at the Directorate of Asian Socio-Cultural Cooperation, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Kami persilakan. Panelis yang kelima, kami panggilkan Yuyun Wahyuningrum, Representative of Indonesia to the Asian Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights. Kami persilakan. Panelis yang keenam, His Excellency Dr. Kau Kim Horn, Secretary General of ASEAN. Kami mengundang moderator untuk memandu sesi panel kita kali ini, yakni Profesor Dr. H. Muhammad Thohir, selaku Dekan Fakultas Tarbiyah dan Keguruan, Universitas Islam Negeri Sunan Ampel, Surabaya. Kami persilakan. Kita beri tepuk tangan bagi seluruh panelis yang sudah hadir. Waktu dan tempat kami persilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, dan salam kemuliaan untuk semuanya. Ibu bapak semuanya, tibalah kita di panel keempat, dan topik tadi disinggung sangat menarik sekali. Kita dalam kesempatan ini akan fokus membahas tentang kajian antara peluang dan tantangan pendekatan literasi keagamaan lintas budaya di komunitas ASEAN yang dapat mendorong kerjasama multi agama, multi etnis untuk mempertahankan dan meningkatkan perdamaian, keamanan, dan stabilitas, serta memperkuat nilai-nilai yang berorientasi pada perdamaian di kawasan ASEAN, serta mempromosikan identitas bersama ASEAN. Izinkan saya menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Mari kita sapa panelis kita yang mulia dan sangat berpengalaman. Selamat pagi untuk seluruh panelis yang mulia. Saya informasikan juga untuk satu panelis yang mulia Dr. Kau Kim Hon, Sekretaris General of ASEAN dari Kambodia, insya Allah akan menyajikan presentasinya dalam atau melalui video. Ibu Bapak semuanya, kita akan langsung ikuti presentasi dari masing-masing panelis. Yang pertama dari Dr. Yayan Ganda Hayat Mulyana, dipersilakan. Waktu 7 menit, Pak.
Thank you very much. Let me start by extending my deepest appreciations to the Lamina Institute and the MOFA for having me to be part of this important international conference. For the discussions I have prepared, the PowerPoint presentations. If I may have the next slide. I will shed some light on the religious diversity in ASEAN and the importance of cross-cultural religious literacy, case studies of cultivate collaboration strategies for enhancing religious literacy, and what future challenges lie ahead and what responses we need to develop. Next slide. Next slide. Southeast Asia or ASEAN is home to 42.2% Muslims and 35.4% Buddhist, and Christianity amounts to 15.5%, Hinduism and others. So it is really a home to the diversity of religions shaped by the long history of human beings in the Southeast Asia. Next slide. This is the statistic from the Pew Research Center on the religious compositions by country and the projections to 2030. And this statistic shows that Southeast Asia will be as diverse as ever in terms of the religious composition and even beyond 2030. Next slide. If I may also make reference to the Religious Diversity Index published by the Pew Research Center, we need, of course, the new version, but this 2014 version shows that Asia-Pacific region as the most diverse globally with RDI score of 9.2, very high, and of course, religious diversity is widely accepted in ASEAN communities. Next slide. And this is also the statistic that shows the attitudes towards religious diversity in 2023 from Pew Research Center. And the majority of respondents in Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Singapore, and Indonesia perceive diversity positively, and the majority willing to accept members of other religions as neighbors, and the proportions of respondents who believe diversity within the country is relatively low across all survey countries. And of course, this would be an asset in terms of enhancing interfaith dialogue as well as interreligious relation. Next slide. This is the religious commitment by country. Religion is very important to most people in Africa, the Middle East, South Asia, and Latin America. And people in Europe, Australia, and East Asia say religious is not, or if not very important, but less important. And of course, this will require a further study. Next slide. And vast majority of world's population is projected to have religion, and the projection anticipated the vast majority of world people will continue to identify with a religion, including about 6 in 10 who will be either Christian or Muslim in 2050. This means that religion will continue to play important role in inter-human relations and international relations in the coming years, even in 2050 or 2045, where Indonesia is envisioning as the golden Indonesia or Indonesia Emas. Next slide, as I have very short time here. Let me, next slide. Next slide. One of Indonesia's foreign policy priorities is faith-based diplomacy, and the main focus of the diplomacy is to maintain the integrity of the Republic of Indonesia in the form of tolerance, democracy, diversity, and prevent radicalism and extremism. Next slide. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has played a central role, of course, in connections with other ministries, which include the religious ministries, the Ministry of Education, as well as civil society organizations in Indonesia. And through a regional framework, the interfaith dialogue has been carried out with ASEM, Asia-Pacific, ASEAN, and MICTA. So it is always embedded in all efforts of diplomacy of Indonesia. And diplomacy has been a driving force in terms of promoting interfaith dialogue among community at the local as well as regional level. Next slide. The importance of cross-cultural religious literacy. Next slide. It's important to understand and respect different religious beliefs and practices, promote social cohesion and mutual respect, and enhance essential, it is really essential for harmonious living in diverse societies. Next slide. The benefits of religious literacy and reduce religious conflict, foster mutual respect, and enhance social harmony. As I have only a few minutes remaining, may I just jump to the future challenges? Yes, let me finish to the last part of the presentations on the future challenges and responses. The challenges comprise persistent religious conflicts and intolerance, and resistance to change and lack of awareness, and limited resources and support for religious literacy initiative. And the strategies that we need to develop is to overcome resistance and promote acceptance, building alliances and securing funding, and leveraging technology and innovation for greater reach, support from international body, cross-border and global campaigns, and of course, education. And perhaps we can continue on these matters during the discussion question and answers. Yes, thank you very much.
Oke. Ya. Terima kasih untuk Yang Mulia Dr. Yayan. Menarik sekali. Langsung saja kita pada panelis berikutnya, Bapak Yang Mulia Bapak Bontavi von Tashin, dipersilakan. 7 menit waktu yang disediakan.
Selamat pagi, apa kabar?
Baik, selamat pagi.
Ya, Sabayadi. Good morning, lady. Good morning, Your Excellency, lady and gentlemen. On behalf of the on behalf of the Department of the Religious Affairs, Central Lao Front for National Development, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers and sponsors of the conference for MOFA Indonesia, as well as Lemina invitation to participate in this important dialogue. Today, we are here together for the contribution to peace, sustainability, and cooperation in ASEAN community as the part of the world peace. The Lao Front for National Development is a part in the political system and which accepts by Constitution of Lao PDR. Lao Front was founded on August 13, 1950, and was the following rights and duties: to unity, sovereignty, and Laos multi-ethnic peoples in both domestic and foreign country. Laos ethnic culture and customary traditional and strengthen people's diplomacy, establish friendly relations and cooperation among the Laos multi-ethnic people and people in the region and other countries. Let me inform you about some specific conditions of the different religious groups in our country. Laos is a small country with the 7.5 million population. There are 59 ethnic groups and 4 main religions: Buddhism, Christianity, Baha'i faith, and Islam. For the Islam's member of Muslim, about 1,000 people in Laos. About 75% of the Lao population is Buddha. Buddhism is the largest and most traditional religion. Over time of the doctrine and belief of the different religions in my country have played a major role in the education, living a right lifestyle, purifying the mind and avoiding evil. Different religious groups in Laos are of one spirit, helping each other, sharing in the defense and construction of their beloved country, and following the guidelines of our government. Generally, there is no violation among the religions in Laos. Well, the teaching of the different religions to the prevent activity concern individual and to meet the requirement decree number 315 of the government concerning management and protection of religious activity. The governments of Laos carry out its policies around citizens the freedom of religious beliefs and promotes the positive rules of religious beliefs. The Department of Religious Affairs has become effective assistant to the both of the Lao Front for National Development and the government in the handling different religious issues. The department has also become a consolidating agency of different religious organizations in our country. As you know well, our work is the highway of extensive scientific, technological, electronic, and information development. There are many challenges, both positive and negative, affecting underdeveloped and developed countries. So I am very confident this dialogue on cross-cultural religious literacy is playing very important roles to the combating to common tendency today. It has offered now opportunity from representative of different religious groups, scholars from different countries to meet and share different point of views. It has helped our effort to bring out the common teaching of the different religions, to separate religious teaching and build to faith and peace.
1 minute left.
In closing, I pray for you, presiding member of the dialogue, to be good health and have successful outcomes from this very important meeting. Terima kasih. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih Yang Mulia Bapak Bontafi Fontashin. Berikutnya Ibu Bapak semuanya kita akan simak bersama presentasi dari Yang Mulia Ibu Zarina binti Zakaria. Dipersilakan, waktu 7 menit.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam perpaduan, salam sejahtera. Selamat pagi semua. Izinkan saya untuk berbicara dalam bahasa Malaysia. Saya rasa tidak banyak bezanya antara bahasa Indonesia dan juga bahasa Malaysia. Betul tidak? Kalau Malaysia biasanya kita saya jadi saya. Itu sahaja bezanya. Izinkan saya. Terima kasih Tuan Moderator telah memberi saya amaran 7 minit sahaja. Kalau ikutkan saya 7 jam pun tidak dapat untuk saya menghuraikan semuanya. Okey, saya perkenalkan dulu. Okey, next slide please. Saya hadir ke sini mewakili Jabatan Perpaduan Negara yang telah ditubuhkan sejak 1 Julai 1969 lagi. Kalau tuan-tuan, puan-puan, bapa, ibu-ibu pernah mendengar kejadian 13 Mei 1969, itulah punca Jabatan Perpaduan Negara telah diwujudkan. Ya, kita tidak ingin mengimbas kembali kejadian itu, tapi kita terus ke hadapan. Kita tidak lagi memikirkan apa permasalahan, problem, ketegangan yang telah berlaku di situ, tetapi kita perlu menguruskan keharmonian dan perpaduan kita secara langsungnya. Okey, dengan slogan Jabatan Perpaduan adalah membudayakan perpaduan dan meraihkan next slide. Sorry. Membudayakan perpaduan, meraihkan kepelbagaian. Okay. Previous slide please. Sorry. Okay, ini adalah Bapak Menteri Perpaduan kita, Datuk Aaron Agu Dagang. Kita boleh lihat situ mesej daripada Menteri sendiri. Perpaduan seharusnya menjadi cara hidup dan amalan semua. Ia bukan rekayasa yang hanya indah di atas kertas dan bait lagu sahaja. Kita perlu mengamalkan, bukan sahaja di atas dasar, di atas kajian sahaja. Implementation itu penting. Ya. Okay, next slide. Menunjukkan kerajaan Malaysia memberi sepenuh komitmen, Perdana Menteri Malaysia telah melancarkan satu aspirasi Malaysia Madani pada Januari tahun lepas. Ya. Secara amnya, Malaysia Madani memfokuskan kepada keharmonian masyarakat. Masyarakat majmuk di Malaysia, pembangunan mampan dan tadbir urus baik. Ada 6 nilai utama yang difokuskan, iaitu kemampanan, kesejahteraan, daya cipta, keyakinan, hormat dan juga ihsan. Okay, next slide. Isu dan cabaran, saya kira di semua negara pun, tidak sahaja di Malaysia, isu cabaran ini langsungnya seperti sama sahaja. Tidak perlu saya menghuraikan, tapi isu dan cabaran yang kita telah dapat ini adalah daripada satu penyelidikan yang betul-betul kita telah dapatkan informasi daripada penduduk komuniti di seluruh Malaysia itu sendiri. Salah satu daripadanya yang ingin saya tekankan di sini adalah ketika ini kita bergelut dengan cabaran media sosial. Itu yang perlu kita uruskan dengan baik. Kita tak perlu menolak media sosial itu, tetapi bagaimana kita berbaik-baik dengan media sosial itu untuk kita menyebarluaskan nilai-nilai murni yang ada selama kita. Yang jangan kita takutkan bahawa informasi-informasi yang tidak harusnya kita tontonkan di media sosial itu boleh dikatakan hanya 1 atau 2% sahaja, di mana 98% itu lagi. Itu yang perlu kita uruskan dan perlu kita menggunakan sebaiknya media sosial ini. Okay, next. Inisiatif yang perlu kita fikirkan. Pertama, pendidikan inklusif dan kesedaran awam. Tidak sahaja kita di peringkat dasar kerajaan, tetapi kita pastikan awam, masyarakat majoriti di dalam negara juga turut sama dengan kerajaan. Ya. Yang kedua, dialog antara agama seperti mana hari ini, penglibatan media dalam promosi keharmonian itu penting. Kerjasama antara institusi keagamaan, penyelidikan dan penerbitan akademik dan juga promosi identiti setiap etnik. Itu adalah penting untuk kita mengekalkan identiti dan tradisi semua etnik dan kaum di dalam Asia. Okay, next. Menunjukkan bahawa kerajaan Malaysia sangat mendukung keharmonian perpaduan. Kita telah mewujudkan satu dasar perpaduan negara dan juga rangka tindakan blueprint pada tahun 2021. Dan jika tiga teras utama yang dipertekankan adalah patriotisme, demokrasi, identiti nasional dan juga ekosistem perpaduan. Next. Di dalam Jabatan Perpaduan Negara sendiri, kita mewujudkan satu inisiatif harmoni madani yang telah dipersetujui oleh dua menteri, Bapa Menteri Perpaduan Negara Datuk Irad Nagor dan juga Menteri Agama itu sendiri, dan kita telah melaksanakan beberapa program di bawah inisiatif ini. Konsep yang kita perlu sebar luaskan adalah faham, hormat, terima. Tiga perkataan yang sangat keramat ini sangat mudah dilafazkan tapi sangat sukar untuk kita laksanakan jika tiada kolaborasi daripada semua pihak. Okay, next. 4 tumpuan inisiatif di bawah harmoni madani adalah acara antarabangsa, jalinan harmoni, promosi dan juga wacana ilmu. Okay, next. Okay, ini adalah inisiatif yang telah kita dan sedang kita laksanakan. Pertama, podcast Bicara Harmoni, dokumentari Jejak Harmoni, wacana memupuk perpaduan dalam kepelbagaian agama, sambutan Minggu Keharmonian Sedunia dan juga dialog harmoni secara fizikalnya. Next. Boleh lihat, boleh go through. Ini adalah paparan-paparan program-program yang telah kita laksanakan di bawah division saya sendiri. Kita laksanakan di seluruh negeri di Malaysia. Ada 13 buah negeri dan 3 wilayah di Malaysia. Okay, next. Next. Dialog harmoni. Next. 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 Bicara harmoni, kita gunakan juga media sosial, kita juga gunakan pempengaruh, kita juga gunakan artis-artis, kita juga gunakan profesional untuk sama-sama, bukan sahaja di peringkat kerajaan sahaja, tapi apa sahaja sumber-sumber kita perlu laksanakan secara bersama.
Baik Ibu, waktunya habis.
Okey, saya ada satu video untuk saya paparkan. Boleh? Mohon Nur Setia paparkan video.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Saya Daniel Dashiki
dan saya
Ini
Daniel.
adalah montaj. Kita telah pergi ke semua negeri di Malaysia untuk mencari kisah realiti harmoni antara penganut-penganut agama yang kita fokuskan kepada rumah-rumah ibadat yang secara berdekatan yang boleh kita lihat dan boleh kita mencari kisah-kisah mereka. Mereka boleh mengamalkan ibadah ritual masing-masing tanpa ada ganggu gugat, tanpa ada rasa resah.
Baik, Ibu cukup lewat 1 menit.
Okey, terima kasih sekian.
Aplaus. Terima kasih, luar biasa. Terima kasih Yang Mulia Ibu Zarina binti Zakaria, dan berikutnya langsung saja kita ikuti bersama, kita simak paparan dari Yang Mulia, yang terhormat Ibu Yuliana Bahar. Dipersilakan Ibu 7 menit. Terima kasih.
Sebelumnya saya sampaikan bahwa di sini saya mewakili Ibu Yuliana Bahar, Direktur Kerjasama Sosial Budaya ASEAN. Nama saya Monica Ariwijayanti dari Direktorat Kerjasama Sosial Budaya Kementerian Luar Negeri Republik Indonesia. Excellencies, distinguished participants, good morning, selamat pagi, peace be upon us all. Ladies and gentlemen, promoting ASEAN identity, which is among the embryos of this conference, falls under the portfolio of the Directorate of ASEAN Socio-Cultural Cooperation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Today, we gather here to delve into a topic that is not only pertinent, but also essential for the future of our ASEAN community, cross-cultural religious literacy. As representatives of diverse cultures and beliefs within ASEAN, it is crucial that we recognize the profound impact of religious diversity on our collective identity and regional cohesion. ASEAN, with its rich tapestry of cultures, traditions, and beliefs, is a testament to the beauty of diversity. Our member states are home to myriad religions: Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and many others, each contributing to the vibrant mosaic of our collective identity, not to mention our cultural heritage and societal fabric. However, with diversity comes the responsibility to foster mutual respect, tolerance, and harmony. Cross-cultural religious literacy plays a pivotal role in this endeavor. It goes beyond mere knowledge of religious doctrines. It embodies a deeper understanding of the beliefs, practices, and values that shape the lives of our fellow ASEAN citizens. By enhancing our cross-cultural religious literacy, we equip ourselves with the tools to bridge cultural divides, promote dialogue, and build meaningful connections. Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to highlight some key elements of why cross-cultural religious literacy is pivotal for fostering an inclusive and cohesive ASEAN community for this conference to consider and discuss later in the following session. First, promoting understanding and tolerance. Religious literacy enables individuals to comprehend the beliefs, practices, and values of diverse religious communities. As I mentioned in the beginning of these remarks, our region is home to myriad religions and beliefs. With this understanding, it is crucial for promoting tolerance and respect across cultures within ASEAN nations. Second, building bridges. In a region as diverse as ASEAN, where multiple religions coexist, religious literacy serves as a bridge that connects people from different backgrounds. It encourages dialogue and collaboration, fostering a sense of unity amidst diversity. Third, mitigating conflicts. Many conflicts in ASEAN nations have religious undertones. Religious literacy equips individuals and communities with the knowledge to navigate these sensitivities and prevent misunderstandings that could escalate into conflicts. Fourth, enhancing policy development. Governments and policymakers benefit from religious literacy as it helps them craft inclusive policies that respect religious freedoms while promoting social cohesion. It ensures that laws and regulations are sensitive to religious diversity. Fifth, empowering communities. Religious literacy empowers individuals within ASEAN nations to engage meaningfully with one another, irrespective of religious affiliations. This empowerment leads to stronger community bonds and collective efforts towards common goals. Last but not least, regional identity. Developing a shared understanding of religious diversity contributes to shaping a distinct ASEAN identity that celebrates pluralism and unity. It strengthens regional solidarity and collective resilience in the face of global challenges. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in our pursuit of an inclusive ASEAN community, religious literacy serves as a catalyst for dialogue and collaboration. It enables us to move beyond stereotypes and misconceptions, fostering a climate where every individual feels valued and understood. Through education and awareness, we can cultivate a culture of respect that transcends religious boundaries and promotes unity amidst diversity. This conference, therefore, is crucial in fostering understanding, cultivating a culture of respect, and promoting our regional identity, which is a unity in diversity.
1 minute left.
I fervently hope that this conference will inspire each and every one of you to promote cross-cultural religious diversity to your constituents back home, and in turn strengthen our ASEAN identity as a region where differences and diversity can coexist. As we navigate the complexities of our diverse region, let us reaffirm our commitment to promoting cross-cultural religious literacy as the cornerstone of our shared ASEAN identity. Let us embrace the opportunity to learn from each other's beliefs and traditions, recognizing that our diversity is not a source of division, but a wellspring of strength. Together, let us strive to build an ASEAN community where every individual, regardless of religious affiliation, can contribute to our collective success and well-being. Let us sow the seeds of understanding today so that future generations may reap the fruits of a truly inclusive and cohesive ASEAN. Thank you, terima kasih.
Aplaus untuk Ibu Monica. Ibu Bapak semuanya, mohon maaf tadi kami ralat untuk penyebutan nama. Beliau adalah Ibu Monica Ariwijayanti, Deputy Directorate of ASEAN Socio-Cultural Cooperation dari Kementerian Luar Negeri. Dan berikutnya kita akan simak bersama presentasi dari yang terhormat Ibu Yuyun Wahyuningrum. Dipersilakan, waktu tersedia 7 menit.
Thank you very much, Chair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for having me in this important and timely conference on cross-cultural religious literacy. The chair of the last session yesterday, Pak Budi, sitting in the back, suggested that the cross-cultural religious literacy proved to be successful in Indonesia, and therefore it can be replicated and applied in wider regions such as ASEAN. I agree. Southeast Asia, as mentioned by previous speakers, is the house of diversity and cultures and religions. The ASEAN Charter acknowledges the importance of the respect for the different cultures, languages, and religions of people in ASEAN, while emphasizing their common values in spirit of unity in diversity. Article 2.2.L. ASEAN member states believe that the regional community will be achieved not when the diversity of religion and beliefs is rejected or merged into uniformity, but precisely when the diversity is affirmed and managed together. In doing so, ASEAN should take necessary measures to ensure dialogue, exchange of views, improve understanding among peoples in ASEAN through the respect, protect, fulfill human rights. Nevertheless, as we observed, we face a lot of challenges, mentioned earlier also by speakers. While coexistence in diversity is desired, some ASEAN member states may have different approaches to religious matters. Some believe or perceive religion is not part of the peace building. Some believe that religion matters need to be controlled, and so on and so forth. So we have not only diversity in religion and cultures, but also diversity in perceiving religion matters and using different approaches. The ASEAN Human Rights Declaration guarantees that everyone has the right to freedom of religion, Article 22, and prohibits discrimination based on religions along with other status, Article 2. AICHR, the ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, the commission that I've been affiliated to, organize series of forums in which freedom of religion belief is discussed in different ways on the freedom of religion and belief itself, or in number of events such as how city can contribute to the implementation in upholding human rights. In February 2023, when Indonesia was the chair, the Indonesian government invited AICHR representative to visit Bogor to see how the conflict in relation to religion has been solved together between local governments and as well as stakeholders in Bogor City. We also still observe that incidences related to the repression against certain religious practices in Southeast Asia, intolerance, negative based on religious and belief, often committed by both state and non-state actors. The act of intolerance, negative stereotyping, and stigmatization of persons based on religion and belief are perceived a threat to the realization of the characteristic of ASEAN region, which respect the different cultures, languages, religion of the people of ASEAN. Very often, these incidences in relation to intolerance, stigmatization of person based on religion belief are the result of the lack of understanding and awareness on the religion and beliefs teaching, and also prejudices and lack of exposure. It is therefore, cross-cultural religious literacy is one of the approaches that might be useful and fit with the situation and the context of Southeast Asia. The approach will not only bring together the thinking, the acting, and ability to work together of different religion and beliefs in the region. At the moment, ASEAN is completing the ASEAN Community Vision 2025 and developing the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, which plan to be adopted in the first summit of 2025 in May 2025 under Malaysia chairship. As the previous ASEAN vision is divided into 3 pillars, the next blueprint will also be divided into 3 pillars, which AICHR, or ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, is under ASEAN Political Security, aim to contribute to the effort of realizing the resilient, innovative, dynamic, and people-centered ASEAN by 2045. One strategic goals that fit with the aim of cross-cultural religious literacy is strategic goal 9, to create the inclusive and cohesive community that respect political, social, religious, cultural, ethnic diversity, and uphold human rights. The activity of regional-wide cross-cultural and religious literacy should be included under strategic goal 9 of the ASEAN Political Security Community, and it might be also better if also be included in ASEAN Social Cultural Community. So by implementing this approach, ASEAN may reach its goal of coming up with the cohesive community that respect human rights and religious diversity. I thank you very much.
Ya, waktunya pas sekali. Terima kasih, aplaus untuk Ibu Yuyun Wahyuningrum. Luar biasa. Ibu Bapak semuanya, satu lagi panelis yaitu Secretary General of ASEAN, beliau Yang Mulia Dr. Kau Kim Hon yang akan menyampaikan presentasinya melalui video. Panitia, dipersilakan.
Distinguished delegates and participants, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It is my great honor to speak at this international conference on cross-cultural religious literacy. I wish to extend my congratulations to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia and the Limana Institute for co-hosting this important event. Indonesia's commitment to embracing diversity, multiculturalism, and multi-faith coexistence sets a shining example within ASEAN and globally. This conference once again underscores your exemplary dedication to fostering understanding and cooperation among diverse cultures and faiths for an inclusive and cohesive society. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the conference theme resonates strongly with ASEAN's own vision of fostering a peaceful, cohesive, and inclusive community amidst our diverse backgrounds. Southeast Asia is home to over 671 million people and is arguably the most culturally and religiously diverse region of the world. Although each ASEAN member state may have different approaches to multiculturalism and multi-faith governance, we are nevertheless united in embracing our cultural and religious diversity, which contributes to the rich cultural heritage and social fabric of the community and the region. This diversity is not just a hallmark of our identity, but a strength that enriches our societies and drives our collective progress. Embracing multiculturalism allows us to draw on a vast reservoir of perspectives, experiences, and ideas, fostering innovation and resilience. Over more than 5.5 decades since establishment of ASEAN, we have worked tirelessly together to promote understanding, coexistence, non-discrimination, and equality for all the peoples of ASEAN. ASEAN's approach to managing and leveraging this diversity through tolerance, moderation, dialogue, and collaboration serves as a model for peaceful coexistence, both within pluralistic societies and across different nations and as in community. The values that have nurtured this enduring and progressive process are those of peace, solidarity, harmony, human dignity, and respect and protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms. As guided by the ASEAN Charter, we have developed various regional instruments and frameworks to build peaceful and inclusive multi-faith societies, as well as promote multi-faith collaboration, which include notably the ASEAN Human Rights Declaration, the ASEAN Declaration on Cultural Prevention for a Peaceful, Inclusive, Resilient, Healthy, and Harmonious Society, and the Yogyakarta Declaration on embracing the culture of prevention to enrich ASEAN identity. Likewise, the ASEAN Community Vision 2045 and its strategic plans, which is being developed, aim to contain key elements underscoring the aspiration for an integrated ASEAN community that is participatory, inclusive, sustainable, and promotes social cohesion, thereby ensuring shared prosperity, especially among the vulnerable groups, and leave no one behind. ASEAN has also taken a cross-pillar and cross-sectoral approach to foster cross-cultural and interfaith exchanges, as they are addressed under different sectoral bodies, including culture and arts, education, information and media, political and security sectors. Our aim is to inculcate the values of peace, moderation, tolerance, and mutual understanding among people from all walks of life. In this regard, let me share some thoughts as a contribution to the panel discussion this morning as follows. First, it is essential to foster interfaith and intercultural dialogue at all levels for the promotion of a culture of tolerance and peace based on respect for human rights and diversity of religion and belief. Initiatives and programs that offer insight into interfaith dialogue as a way to achieve mutual understanding and peace and counter hate speech in line with international human rights law should be encouraged. At the same time, international fora like our conference today have proven essential to understanding religious and cultural diversities in many geostrategic contexts. Second, it is important to effectively counter religious profiling, act expeditiously on hate crimes, and protect religious or belief minorities through education and awareness raising, as well as adopt measures to sanction incitement to imminent violence based on religion or belief. Government should exercise due diligence to prevent, investigate, and punish acts of violence against persons belonging to religious minorities. Third, social media companies have a key role to play in containing the spread of hate speech, such as measures for online content moderation. However, more needs to be done to effectively address hate speech online, including listening to those most affected by online hate speech and providing better channels for raising concerns and getting prompt action. Fourth, education and dialogue are key components of the collective efforts to strengthen cross-cultural inter-religious dialogues and multi-faith collaborations. Schools, universities, and community and faith-based organizations play a pivotal role in promoting interfaith understanding and collaboration. By incorporating multi-faith education into curricula and creating spaces for dialogue, we can equip future generations with the tools they need to navigate a diverse world with openness and respect. Last but not least, we must invest in digital literacy and critical thinking skills to empower our citizens to discern credible information from falsehoods. In an area where algorithms and now artificial intelligence increasingly influence our thinking and condition our access to knowledge, it is essential that we do not let these technologies define and control us, even as we must harness their potential for our own benefit. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the convening of the International Conference on Cross-Cultural Religious Literacy takes place at an opportune time, as we will soon be commemorating the 15th anniversary of the establishment of an ASEAN Intergovernmental Commission on Human Rights, ICHR, which will fall on 23rd October of this year. Certainly, the region has come a long way in its tireless efforts to promote greater understanding of the universality of human rights and its integrability and intersectionality with social cohesion and peace. Nevertheless, we must keep looking forward, building on past achievements to realize a better future. Let us therefore continue to work together towards the common goal of building peace, inclusive and cohesive societies in the ASEAN community for the benefit of our people and societies. I thank you.
Aplaus, luar biasa, menarik sekali. Dan Ibu Bapak semuanya, saya kira sudah banyak pertanyaan yang disiapkan sekaligus tanggapannya. Langsung saja saya buka termin pertama untuk disampaikan. Dari sisi, mungkin untuk termin pertama ini kita lihat situasi nanti ya. 3 pertanyaan dulu. Dari sisi kiri, ada, nggak ada? Dari sisi, iya tuh. Yang pakai baju kayak berjas. Kemudian yang kedua, ibu yang ini pakai kerudung hitam. Dan kemudian ini depan ini, ya, yang depan. Baik, 3 dulu ya Pak. Baik, dipersilakan. Perkenalkan dan dari organisasi mana?
Thank you, moderator. My name is Lawrence Chong from the Vatican Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue. My question is to Dr. Yayan. I noticed in the last decade, Indonesia has a lot of young people involved and leading interreligious dialogue. I wonder what is the secret of the Indonesian government, and will the Indonesian government start to see more young people on the front line of interreligious dialogue, not just for Indonesia, but the world? Thank you.
Baik, terima kasih. Dan untuk berikutnya, dipersilakan maksimal 2 menit.
Baik, terima kasih. Perkenalkan, saya Lina Pahalawati dari Mandua Tuban. Izinkan saya bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia. Menarik sekali paparan dari para panelis. tadi ada yang mengatakan bahwa tantangan terbesar kita dalam kebebasan beragama adalah teknologi. Nah, banyak sekali kita tahu bahwa ada keterbatasan penggunaan teknologi di Indonesia, terutama di daerah-daerah pelosok. Nah, yang saya tanyakan adalah bagaimana untuk mengatasi tantangan tersebut. Kemudian yang kedua saya tujukan kepada yang kami hormati, Ibu Zarina binti Zakaria. Saya tertarik sekali dengan paparan dari beliau terkait dengan kebebasan beragama yang ada di Malaysia. Kebetulan saya adalah seorang guru. Saya ingin menanyakan hal yang sangat sederhana. Bagaimana praktik atau sebuah praktik baik yang dilaksanakan di Malaysia yang sekiranya dapat kami tiru sebagai guru di Indonesia. Guru Indonesia itu memungkinkan untuk dapat meniru praktik baik di bidang pendidikan, terutama terkait dengan kebebasan beragama. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, dan untuk berikutnya dipersilakan. Yang paling depan. Silakan.
Thank you very much. I'm Rachel Cooper from the Asia Society in New York City. And I'm very interested, I enjoyed the panel very much, and I'm interested because human beings have multiple identities, only one of which is religious. Sometimes it's ethnicity, it's nationality, it's gender. So I'm wondering if there's an opportunity as we look at religious literacy to find ways that bridge to other kinds of understanding, and I'd be interested in hearing from the panel on their thoughts on what strategies we could use that take religious literacy and cross over into other areas of understanding. Thank you.
Cukup sementara 3 dulu untuk termin ini, dan Ibu Bapak panelis mungkin nanti langsung saja mana-mana pertanyaan yang relevan dengan masing-masing bisa disampaikan. Saya persilakan dari Pak Yayan dan seterusnya. Silakan mungkin Pak Yayan.
Thank you for the important questions first from Pak Lawrence on the secrets of young generations in Indonesia, which become the forefronts in promoting interreligious tolerance. And of course, one of the key is, of course, we have the societal stock, which has been shaped by history, and of course, shaped by the long tradition, the indigenous stocks, the native stocks that we have, the values of tolerance, the value of the value of respect for each other, which has been inherited, if not by DNA, but inherited through social interactions between parents and their children, between children and their peers, and between children and their community. And of course, formally speaking, as described by the special assistant to the minister this morning, that we have for long developed what we call the inclusive curricula educations, which has been, of course, advocating those values. And of course, the challenge would be in what ways that the novelty of society, which include the presence of social media, can foster further the role of the young generation. We are blessed by the reality that 40% of Indonesians are young generation. This demographic bonus is essential not only for Indonesian economy and its futures moving towards Indonesia, Emas, Golden Indonesia 2045, but at the same time also it is essential for building a coherent society based on respect, harmony, as well as tolerance. And I think the role of government, the role of communities, as well as the role of family are essential in keeping the important contributions of young generations to interreligious harmony. And of course, the acquisitions of literacy is extremely important. It is not only through formal education, but non-formal education, which include santren or madrasa, or many other forms of knowledge acquisitions and norms internalizations. Thank you.
Oke, terima kasih Dr. Yayan. Barangkali berikutnya tanggapan dari Yang Mulia Bapak Buntafi Fontashin, dipersilakan. Ada tanggapan? No, oke. Berikutnya dari Ibu Zarina, silakan.
Terima kasih kepada Ibu yang bertanya tadi. Okey, kami di Kementerian Perpaduan Negara, kita bukan sahaja bergerak secara sendiri. Ya. Kita namakan itu yang kita berkolaborasi adalah jentera perpaduan. Di dalam Kementerian Perpaduan Negara, kita ada 8 jentera perpaduan. Kalau sebutnya jentera, haruslah bekerja bersama-sama. Betul tak? Okey, kita bahagikan kepada tiga dalam 8 jentera perpaduan itu, 3 kita bahagikan. Pertama, di peringkat komuniti itu sendiri. Yang kedua, bagaimana penghayatan rukun negara dan perlembagaan persekutuan. Dan yang ketiga, di peringkat IPTA, IPTS, Institut Pendidikan Tinggi, Awam dan juga swasta. Ini adalah jentera kita. Salah satu yang kita gunakan secara akar umbinya adalah kanak-kanak yang seawal umur 4 tahun. Kita dedahkan dengan rukun negara dan perlembagaan persekutuan. Bagaimana kita menghormati perbezaan, kepelbagaian, agama, budaya, etnik di Malaysia. Ada kurikulum yang sendiri-sendiri. Itu kita terapkan seawal umur 4 tahun. Sehingga dia masuk ke sekolah rendah, kita namakan Kelab Rukun Negara pula. Sekolah rendah dan sekolah menengah. Sampai di peringkat ke universiti, kita masih memberi penekanan kepada kurikulum Rukun Negara di peringkat Sekretariat Rukun Negara juga. Okey, saya terlupa berapa bilangan, 500 lebih di semua institut. Dan di peringkat komuniti juga, kalau anda semua kenali rukun tetangga, kenalkah? Kalau di Indonesia RT, kalau di Malaysia rukun tetangga. Ini adalah jentera kita di peringkat komuniti, bagaimana kita menerapkan kepelbagaian, perbezaan dan menghormati sesama umat manusia itu sendiri. Okey, kita tiada orang kata satu model yang khusus. Saya rasa semuanya sama, cuma secara sistematiknya kita ambil daripada, kalau bolehlah, daripada peringkat bayi lagi katakan, ibu yang mengandung pun boleh kita nak letakkan di situ satu jentera perpaduan. Bagaimana kita mengasuh, mendidik bahawa pentingnya kita memahami rukun negara itu sendiri. Itu adalah kita punya punca kuasa kita. Okay. Barulah kita bercerita tentang kedamaian, perpaduan, keharmonian dan seterusnya.
Okey.
Okay. Semoga menjawab Ibu.
Okey, terima kasih Ibu Zarina. Dan berikutnya tanggapan dari Ibu Monica Ariwijayanti, dipersilakan Ibu.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like perhaps to respond on the question of Ms. Rachel about how to bridge to get the greater areas of understanding. For the ASEAN perspectives, I would like to, first of all, of course, to give appreciation to organizations like the Leimena Institute, who are willingly organized this kind of conference, but also to organize literacy training and education for school teachers. And I think this is important, that education plays a very important a role in the bridging the differences among us. But for ASEAN itself, we actually have already produced some declarations on how the ASEAN member states would like to bring this interreligious, intercultural into more harmonious and inclusive society. So one of it is the ASEAN Declaration on Culture of Prevention for Peaceful, Inclusive, Resilient, Healthy, and Harmonious Society, which was formalized in Manila in 2017. So with that, we try to strengthen our culture of peace and intercultural understanding, and also respect for all, and also culture of good governance, etc. And also last year during, of course, Leimena last year also had this kind of a similar conference. But during Indonesia's presidency in ASEAN last year, we also had ASEAN Intercultural and Interreligious Dialogue Conference, which also produced the Jakarta Declaration that is to underscore the relation between among humans, and then to underscore the role of women and also youth in this respect. We also try to, there is one challenge in ASEAN actually, I mean that this kind of conference is held under one-off activities, because there is, well, of course, this religious literacy falls, well, perhaps if we can say that it is education part, but also if we see the title here, cross-cultural and religious literacy. There are two parts here that, that falls under different sectoral bodies in ASEAN, that is culture and literacy. So we call it cross-pillar. So we need to strengthen this cross-pillar cooperation. So not only the cross-pillar, but also, so in ASEAN, there is a pillar of culture, and it's also education. So in this case, we need to work together, I mean, among the organization ministries, of course. Expect that there would be some discussions under the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Religion, and also other related ministries. As it was previously mentioned during the keynote speech, that actually it is the responsibility of all ministries to educate the society in Indonesia. So I hope that would answer your question. Thank you.
Terima kasih Ibu Monica. Dan selanjutnya yang terakhir dari panelis terakhir Ibu Yuyun Wahyuningrum, dipersilakan Ibu.
Thank you, Pak. There is no specific question to me, but if I may, I would like to add the answer from Pak Yayan. Pak izin Pak, on the question of from Pak Lawrence. But this is from the perspective of me as a Commission of Human Rights in ASEAN. I observe that there are two factors, maybe more, but at the moment I see two factors. First, there is an increased interest from young people to look at religions issues, especially after COVID-19. A lot of frustration, and then people look for answers and so on and so forth, and continued until now. And then also during COVID-19, the use of technology, podcasts, so it mushroomed. And one of the topic of the podcast, surprisingly, were about religion and initiated by young people. So there's an interest from young people to religion, and there is a fatigue from young people listening how religion has been addressed to traditional, so-called old people, in the language of young people. So they want to be informed on religion in their own languages. So now we saw number of priests, also the imams using the language of young people, wearing the clothes like young people, and also addressing issues that young people care the most. So I've been following this. We have a lot of young priests as well as Islamic imam or preachers using the language that fit with the young peoples, and the room full of young people listening, engaging on religious issues. So it's quite a surprising development. Secondly, the role of government is so far has been ensuring and protecting civic space for young people to explore their interests in relation to religion, and then freedom of expression, very important. Now I see young people try to normalize, try to make religion is not the talk of the old generation, but also their generation. So that's, I think these are some good developments in terms of religion, and I hope if government continue to protect their civic space and their freedom of expression, this might be end into something better in the future. Thank you.
Ya, terima kasih jawabannya dari para panelis masing-masing, dan Ibu Bapak semuanya untuk termin kedua terpaksa kami tiadakan karena waktu yang terbatas. Kajian yang sudah kita lewati bersama mulai telaah dari berbagai kebijakan, data-data di lapangan, best practice yang ada, dan semuanya dapat kita ambil kesimpulan bahwa kajian literasi keagamaan lintas budaya untuk mendukung komunitas ASEAN yang inklusif dan kohesif setidaknya ada dari segi peluang, yaitu hadirnya pemahaman dan toleransi melalui pendidikan dan dialog. Kemudian dari segi tantangan, kita masih menghadapi stereotip dan sumber daya terbatas yang masih menghambat berbagai program. Dan yang ketiga, poin dalam menjaga perdamaian, kita bisa kembangkan melalui berbagai lembaga mediasi dan peningkatan nilai-nilai perdamaian, baik melalui pendidikan dan budaya. Dan yang terakhir, Ibu Bapak semuanya, yakni terkait dengan poin memperkuat identitas ASEAN, bahwa keanekaragaman sebagai atau telah menjadi bagian dari kekuatan dan kampanye kesadaran regional dan identitas bersama. Terima kasih, demikian konklusi yang dapat kami sampaikan, dan mari kita berikan aplaus bersama untuk para panelis yang terhormat, luar biasa. Dan untuk selanjutnya kami kembalikan kepada MC. Terima kasih.